Hi, my name is Islam Tariq, and this is my interview video for the AIESEC internship. So the first part should be the introductory part where I talk a little bit about myself. To begin with, I'm 22 years old and I'm studying material engineering, which is basically a branch of chemical engineering. And outside college, I like to read, I like to play sports, especially football, and I can confidently say that I am an education and teaching enthusiastic. The first time I discovered that was I was working on a project called Juniors, when we as college students should go to high school and middle school students and tell them what should they expect after they graduate, and what they will face, and how they will overcome the problems that they will face, and the choices that they should make in choosing their major, and the college that they will should join, because in Egypt the students who comes out after finishing high school or maybe middle school doesn't know which branch of science should he go, or even which college he should go. The education system in Egypt doesn't provide that, so even the teaching period wasn't that long, but I realized that I enjoyed it that much. So after that project finished, I applied to be an academic head at my student activity called AABG at my college. And basically the academic team should maybe tell the other students more about the subjects and get them to understand it better, and go outside the curriculum and search for the industry problems and look for the possible solutions. This was my second experience as a teacher, maybe, or in the education system. After my term as an academic had finished, I decided to go on a global volunteer experience with AIESEC, and I chose an education project in Turkey called Speaking Cafe, where my job description was basically to improve the level of English for the locals through activities, lessons, culture night, movie nights, and even karaoke. I got the chance to work on a multicultural environment where my students coming to the cafe weren't only locals from Turkey, but also foreigners living there. We got also parents and schools coming with 5 years old children, wanting to teach them English and engage them in English environment through games or whatever. And there was one lady I will never forget. She was 67 years old. She wanted to learn English so she can talk to her granddaughter, who was born and raised in the United Kingdom. So that was a brief introduction about me first, and then my experience in education, or my passion for education and teaching. So now we can go to the second part, which talks about the Q&A part. The first question is, why do you want to choose this internship, which is in China? Okay, so first of all, as I said, through this project, I knew that my interest is in the education or the teaching career. I want to go finish my college, then go on this internship, which after that I will take a master's in chemical engineering. Then I can go to take my PhD and contribute to the research field. And more importantly, that I will be a professor who can teach I think that I like about chemical engineering and material engineering to students, and do also teaching, which is for me a really good maybe occupation. I really enjoy it, and I believe that I'm good at it. Okay, so why China? I believe that China, through my AIESEC term, or maybe my AIESEC time, I got to meet too many Chinese coming to Egypt on a global volunteer on global talent project, and I also met Chinese in Turkey on my JV experience myself. So the common thing that I liked the Chinese people, they were like so different, and I like to explore the Chinese culture more, and I want another chance to be self-independent, to be more self-aware, and while doing that to myself, I get to empower others. So those may be the reasons why I want to come to China, and specifically this internship. So the second question was, why do you choose AIESEC to support you to get to the globe internship? So first of all, I was an ICER myself. I was a member of IGV. Then I became a middle manager of Outgoing Global Volunteer. And once I was on ICER, I really believed in the goals that AIESEC is doing, especially the SDGs, and how does AIESEC implement them in their project, so that by 2030, AIESEC would help make the world a better place. I really believe that by going to this internship, I would have achieved the first goal of the SDGs, which called quality education. So next question is, what are my short-term and long-term plans? So my short-term plans would be like getting an internship in this gap year before I go on take my master next year. And I have a really important goal, which is a personal goal, that by the age of 25, I would have mastered two language beside my own, uh, which my own three that I can speak right now. I can speak Arabic, English, and German. So I would really hope that I could speak another two languages in this coming 3 years. Uh, that's for my short-term plans. My long-term plans will be me getting my PhD, as I said before, and fulfill my dream of being a professor, and then I can transfer my passion and love for material science through teaching to other students. Uh, that's it. So, what's your expectation to AIESEC in China? What do you think AIESEC in China should help you? Okay, I was an ICER and I understand how much pressure can the EP, the exchange participant, could put on the LC. So I only want ICE in China to or my LC, my LC, which would be in Wuhan, HUST, if I remember right, to help me settle down in my first days. I would only require help in my first days when I get to know the place, help me to rent an apartment at first. But after that, I think I can do it all on my own. I already did that in Turkey. I only got help from ICECers actually on my first 2 days, since I never saw an icicle in Turkey. So I can say confidently that I am self-independent. I can do it all by myself. Okay, now to the teaching simulation part. The first question says, suppose one of your students is really shy and afraid of talking on public. This kind of situation often happens in China. How would you solve the problem? Okay, the reason why he or she could be shy, because she is afraid to make mistakes in front of her friends who might laugh at her. So to solve this problem, if we are doing some activity, he cannot be the first to participate. He has to see other students making mistakes, so he will be more relaxed and more eager to do the activity. And if that didn't work, I could do the activity with them and show them it's okay to make mistakes and treat this in the right way. So, except language, what do you want to share with your students and how? Okay, except language, I could share with them. First of all, Asia and Africa are total different cultures, and I know the students will be too curious about where I come from and how we live here and stuff like that. So I can share with them my culture, my even my traditional habits, maybe my even some snacks or foods from my country. I have been in multicultural environments in Turkey and I have seen so many cultures. I can share that with them, and how I can prepare some PowerPoint presentations like I did in Turkey. I did a culture night about Egypt, and even if we have a time, we can do some activities about maybe a folklore dance here in Egypt, maybe prepare some snacks for the students. And even if in language, I can only share with them Arabic, some Arabic numbers, some Arabic writing, and German. I can speak German. So that's it. Suppose a school asks you to organize one activity which will occupy your resting time. How will you deal with the problem? Okay, so if I am the only one who can do it, maybe there is no other option. I will do the activity. It's okay for me, even if it takes my resting time, because I am over there to help after all. And if something I can do to help the education process go easier or better, I will do it. So some adaptation questions. Okay, when you come to China, you will be in a circumstance that people around you can only speak Chinese. You can talk with, you have no one to talk with you. How will you solve the problem? Okay, I believe I have been already in this situation in Turkey. As you may know or not know, Turkey is a monotonic, or many, all the people in Turkey only speak Turkish. It's very few, or it's very rare if you can find someone talking English. So at the first days in Turkey was actually a little bit hard because I didn't come prepared, so I didn't learn the basics of Turkish, because uh, the the decision of me going to Turkey came fast, as I was after I finished my second semester, my last year. I decided I will go to Turkey. I will go on a global volunteer experience. So it was fast. The matching process and all the process was so fast. So I didn't have the chance to learn a little bit about the language. But after maybe 1 week, I learned the basics. I learned how to say how much. I learned how to say hi, thank you, the basics that will get me by in my life in Turkey. And after that week, I could already go to some shop and buy my breakfast, dinner, and lunch all by my own. I didn't need anyone's help. So I believe it will be the same in China after, but this time I will come prepared. I will learn the basics of the language. I will learn how to say, how to be able to order food. I have to be able to ask for the basics of life, so I can do it. And as you can see, I already have done it in my global volunteer experience in Turkey, and I can do it again. If you miss a person who is going to pick you up at the airport, you have not Chinese SIM card and the internet, so you cannot contact anyone who will receive the blow. Okay, funny how you say it. Uh, Actually, at my global volunteer experience in Turkey, I waited at the airport for 6 hours. The opportunity manager didn't read my flight ticket right, so he thought I was coming on the day after. I went there on Sunday. He thought I was coming on Monday. So I was waiting at the airport. Was no one there. He told me, when you get out of the departure or the arrival hall, you will see me there. I didn't find anyone. So what should I do? I have no internet and I have no Turkish SIM card and I have nothing. So basically, I just went to the Starbucks, the cafe in the airport, and over there I ordered a drink and I sat at their free Wi-Fi. And then I contacted the LCVB and asked him, I am already at the airport and the opportunity manager isn't here. So he told me, okay, sorry for that. So, and he will send me someone to pick me up right now. And I have waited another 5 hours. That's already 2 hours. I thought he was stuck in traffic or something, but he wasn't coming at all. So I waited the first 2 hours and I thought I should contact the LCVB. And then after I waited another 5 hours and then someone came to pick me up. Besides that, I have already have experience in how to manage in the airport. Like I will know if people in the airport will of course speak English better than inside the country, so I can ask someone inside, ask him how can I get a free internet. I ask him about the directions to go to the name of the city I knew. I will already get the address, of course. From the manager before I come to China. That's a mistake I did when I go to Turkey. I didn't know which place or which building in particular I was going to, and then it was basically in another city. So I would ask for basic directions to if no one came to pick me up, I can come on my own. I think I can do that because I already have traveled all over Turkey with no one speaking Turkish with me. It was me and two other Arabian girls and one girl from Russia and one girl from China. So we traveled all over Turkey and with no one speaking Turkish between us, and we booked the ticket, booked the trips, and we went everywhere in Turkey. So I believe I can handle myself going from the airport to the city. So that's it. That's end of my interview video. I hope I did well, and I am waiting to hear from you. Ciao.